right, we'll be starting shortly. Happy Monday, crypto family. Eduardo with greetings. Chris, BTC Motivation. Kumoyame. Patrick, yes, Audius News. Actually, I just learned about the news today. Just now, Forrest just told me about that. All right, Legato Fox. Hey, Crypto Dingo. All right, welcome. As you can see, we have now officially migrated the stream to Mondays 4 p.m. Eastern Time. This will be a lot better based on the survey of our community and our audience. Good afternoon, Bill. Good afternoon, Forrest. How are you guys doing?
Doing good, Ian. Happy Monday.
Happy Monday. All right, Forrest, maybe let's kick things off with Audius and the news.
Yeah, so Audius just partnered with a company, in case you haven't heard the news yet, a company that has an estimated valuation of $425 billion. For reference, I believe Facebook is valued at $1 trillion. Don't quote me on that, but almost 40% of Facebook's valuation. They have 732 million active users. That company's TikTok. They just partnered with TikTok, so now they are one of the first partners in integrations into TikTok's Sound Kit, which essentially allows Audius artists to export their sounds or their songs over to TikTok with one easy click, right? So one fact that they shared in the Rolling Stone article on this is that 75% of TikTok's 732 million active users say they discover new music on the app, on TikTok, right? So if you're an artist now and you want to be discovered, or you just want more listens, more views, more exposure to your music, posting it on Audius, who already has over 5 million monthly active users. I expect that to explode. But then exporting it over to TikTok from Audius is a great way now to get your music discovered. This is huge. They beat Spotify to the punch. They beat Apple Music to the punch. They beat Pandora to the punch. One other interesting thing about Audius, while we're talking about the fact that they're now beating, in terms of partnerships, beating some of their competition, especially to this TikTok partnership, is they don't have any other blockchain competition. One thing I want to show you guys before we go over to back to Bill and Ian is that if you go to the categories filter on coins categories on CoinGecko, right, and you go to the music category, there's no competition. There's zero blockchain competition. The next biggest project has a $4 million total total market cap, and it's a Binance Smart Chain project, right? Audius has no competition in this arena in terms of blockchain competition. They're competing directly with Spotify, SoundCloud, Apple Music. But overall, this is just fantastic news. So congrats to everyone holding Audio Token. Congrats to the Audius team. This is a huge partnership.
Incredible. I mean, I just wish I bought more. I may have to go and check the price and see where it's at. What's the current price?
$2.51. It's from its bottom. That's what 6x or no 4x from the bottom at 59.60 cents. It pumped all the way up to $2.82. But this news is pretty fresh. I believe this news broke at noon Eastern time today, so it's only about 4 hours old, and this changes the game for Audius. This is huge.
Yeah. I mean, that's incredible. So 252 market cap, over 600 million. Because it dropped to what, like 75 cents a while back?
Yeah, I think it dropped all the way down to 60.
To 60?
Yep. And now it's a top 132, rank 123. So knocking on the door of the top 100.
That's crazy. And lowest price was actually 4 cents back in October. So now it's basically pushing 60x return for anybody who was super early in it. All right, awesome. That's definitely good news. Okay, let's now segue to Bill. But quick announcement. So this is the new time for the live stream. Whoops, sorry, wrong one. This is the new time for the live stream. This is not a spontaneous live stream. The live stream now, the Tokenomics live stream will always be Monday, 4 p.m. Eastern time. So definitely change your calendars, update the calendar. This is it. Okay, so let's now segue to Bill.
All right, can you see my screen?
Yes, we can now.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Monday live stream market update. Inflation and the DeFi moon. Is the dollar decline next? So for Monday live stream, we're going to give you a little bit of something new, maybe a little bit of hard-hitting stuff about geopolitics and the dollar, because man, is it going to affect crypto. Now, let's start with this. Fiat currencies can move based on political developments, right? Like the dollar can be thumbs up for America or thumbs down for America. Now, this tweet is essentially from a very famous professor at Princeton who is telling us that, you know, the current president was billed as compassionate, caring, and wise. And if you happen to be a woman or a child on the street of Kabul, Afghanistan, you might beg to differ. So this is the worst American imagery that I've seen since I waited in gas lines in the 70s when the Arabs cut off oil to the US. Literally the worst. Now, the second worst is Fed follies. So there was a perfectly good crypto rally going on earlier today, which was shut off because the Fed thinks they're going to taper in 2022. That means they're going to be printing less money. Wow. Apparently, they have not heard about hospital bed availability in states like Texas and Florida. In Texas, the National Guard was mobilized to put up tent hospitals. And I have a very good friend who works in the emergency room of a freestanding ER. And the stories coming from her are astounding. To protect herself from these variants, she wears a military respirator, not a mask. So without giving you COVID porn, I will tell you this. The Federal Reserve will be printing more by Christmas than they've ever printed before. Now, let's talk about the dollar. Notice there was no bounce in the dollar today off the Fed news. And if anything, the dollar, based on what's going on with foreign policy, fiscal policy, and monetary policy, you got a triple top in the dollar index near 93. And I actually think that if there was ever a time where the dollar could tank, it could be on the 20th anniversary of September 11th, when the Taliban is doing what it does best, which is scare and hurt people on the 20th anniversary of 9/11. That literally could potentially be the end of the dollar. And since you're listening to this on a red day in crypto, today could be a very unique opportunity. Now, let's take also a look at 10-year yields. Yeah, I know it's a little bit of legacy, but bear with me. So the Fed says they're going to print less money and interest rates go down. Wait a minute. I thought if the Fed printed less money, the economy was great and interest rates should go up. That's what it says in the economics book right here. No. Okay. It's the opposite. If the Fed stops supporting the economy cracks. So whatever they're telling you in press conferences, whatever theater they're giving you about what's going on with the United States, frankly, don't believe it. Now, gold. Looking at gold on a weekly chart, right? We got to look at gold every once in a while because, you know, let's face it, they talk about Bitcoin and crypto as digital gold. And there is a big, fat, green hammer candlestick right on gold weekly, right on a handle of a huge teacup and handle formation for gold, which could lead to much, much higher gold prices, which is normally accompanied by a much, much lower dollar. So I've got political follies, monetary follies, a good dollar chart, a good gold chart, and all of this at the end of the day is great for crypto. Now, I don't care what goes up. It could be Bitcoin. It could be alts. Here's the case for Bitcoin. Bitcoin is breaking out of a Fibonacci circle formation. Frequently, when it's done this in the past, Bitcoin has been able to rally, sometimes rally a lot. I would not be shocked to see the type of price action that we've seen today or recently in Solana. Okay. Audio's probably an extreme example, up 60%, but I wouldn't doubt we see a day where there's a 25% up move in Bitcoin between now and the end of the month. Now, let's segue to inflation. Walmart today came out looking for a crypto person in their employment ads. And it's a good time for me to show you what's really going on with inflation. Is this an altcoin? No, it's the price of sugar that goes from 8 to 20 over the course of a year. Wheat, okay, new highs. Commodity Research Bureau Commodity Index, basically your dad's commodity index, okay, sitting up at its highs, not backing off of a big resistance point from 2015. Commodities break out from here. If it breaks this big resistance point that goes back 6 years, okay, the dollar is done. And that is the true crypto dawn. Now, another new Monday feature, we're going to try to get more tactical, more short term. Okay, so we're going to take a little bit more risk. All right, we're going to try to call it near term. All right, so let's get into it. So Ethereum, I'm looking at 3241 as a pivot. So if ETH is above 3241, I say go with it from this point on. If Ethereum is below 3241, I say wait. Now, if there's a big enough of a dip, like say to 3K, obviously you want to be grabbing that. But if we're just in this listless sideways sort of range, believe it or not, from here on out, I actually either want to buy a sharp dip or a quiet breakout. Okay? Because whatever they're doing today has no basis in reality, right? If anything, what's going on today with the washout is they may be washing out retail so that they can just vacuum all this crypto out of the system. Okay, Bitcoin, something similar, right? If you saw 45K, it would be a great buy. Honestly, I doubt you're going to see it. And I know this is crazy, but frankly, I think you can buy Bitcoin on any red day, right? Because if the dollar's going down, right, and if proof of work currencies are more resilient to this latest regulatory circus, I like Bitcoin. All right, now, altcoins, right? The reason you're here. Multicoin Capital recently released a report where it highlighted the DeFi coins that they like because they're anchored overseas. SushiSwap, okay, which we've been pounding on the Sunday live stream and on Tokenmetrics TV, no one wanted it at 6. No one wanted it at 8. And no one wanted it at 10. Now it's at 13, and it's only got a $2 billion market cap. I don't see any reason why sushi can't move from 12 to 20 or possibly even to 32 if NFT summer moves to DeFi summer. In other words, this is like win-win if you're a portfolio holder of crypto, right? Either Bitcoin's going to gap to 90K or sushi and DeFi are going to go from 13 to 32. Either way, if you've got a diversified portfolio in the next, say, 20 days, you're going to be a winner in crypto. Aave, breaking out and then coming down and testing support near 429. No reason why this can't go back to 700 if 430 acts as support. Okay, Perp, another one of Multicoin's holdings. The big question is, will Perp survive the token issuance of competing exchange DYDX? Here's a prediction. DYDX is going to come out to a lot of fanfare. People are going to probably buy the token because it's probably going to be undervalued when it comes out. DYDX will probably moon. And then when everybody is done with DYDX, when the excitement, one way or the other, right, comes out overvalued, goes down, comes out undervalued, moons. When the trade is done and either the easy money's been made or people get hosed, people are going to come back and realize, oh, I should be long perp. DYDX was fun and they got a great product, but perp is where it's at. Okay. So I think perp is, say, 2 weeks away from trend resumption. Now, I've had to sort of pare back what my upside targets are because I was talking things like 45 or even 100. But I think 20, 25 is reasonable, especially if the DeFi moon kicks in. Now, of course, audio, right? I don't know if anyone out there remembers this. I didn't even remember it. But I've been messing around with GAN numbers, and I noticed that August 15th was 168 bars from the bottom in March of last year. And that GAN number, I had said about Audius, hey, watch out for August 15th because it's rallying into a big GAN point. And lo and behold, it's up 60%. That's why I calculate these GAN points. And here's the kicker. My little GAN trend line, you know, my little sort of homemade version of what Forrest does, all right? Audius hasn't even gotten back to where it would be considered sort of fair value in GAN terms. Fair value is probably more like 3.25. So I'm not advocating FOMOing into something that's up 70 cents, or I'm sorry, 70% on the day. But the answer to the question, can this go higher, is yes. Because check this out, folks. This has been a trend that's been happening recently. First, it was Cardano that just took off. It got to its fair value trend line and went way above it. Solana was at its fair value line at 40, and then it exploded. What happens if this gets to its fair value line and goes and takes out and moves to like $5? Because if this is what we've always been telling people it is, right? If this is music on the blockchain and it's been discovered, okay, and it's not something that regulators can get all upset about, it's decentralized content, then how big can this rally be? If Cardano can be number 3 market cap, I can only imagine what they could do with this. Finally, Luna. Okay, now, again, at 20 is great. At 4, no one wanted it. Now it's back to 20. Okay, it's back to its GAN fair value line. And honestly, if 21 acts as support, this thing may be able to go to 34. After what Solana did, I am not going to get in the way of any of these altcoins that are doing what I call like self-mooning. They don't require the market to go up. They're just moving on their own story. So, crypto family, welcome to the Monday live stream. Stay with Token Metrics. I just got off a Zoom call with the head of technology at Token Metrics. And he showed me what's next for tokenmetrics.com. The new grades, the portfolios, the ability to see things really, really quickly. The Axie Infinities, the Solanas of the world at your fingertips. Stay with us and head over to tokenmetrics.com and check us out. We'll be here for you on YouTube, but the big money, the money that you can make in crypto, tokenmetrics.com. Ian, back to you.
All right. Thank you, Bill. That was great. So if you enjoyed that market update, please smash the like button, subscribe, tell a friend to tell a friend. Not being in crypto is a financial crime. All right. So let's now segue to Forrest.
Hey, yeah, I can share my screen right here real quick. And yeah, so basically, I just want to make briefly the case for crypto going much higher. Now, this is a chart we took a look at briefly in the presentation on the live stream yesterday evening for our scenario values and our price scenario matrix. But this is what I want to take a look at today at a deeper level, so you understand that the cryptocurrency market, right? The cryptocurrency industry, the total cryptocurrency market cap can go much, much higher. It can sustain risk premiums that we haven't even come close to so far this market cycle, right? So Bitcoin has this habit of, after it's halving towards the end of its bull market cycle, it makes the vast majority of its gains in the very, very final hours of the bull market, right? If we look at just total cryptocurrency market cap, we can see a 781% move in the final 122 days, the final 3 to 4 months of last bull market cycle. For Bitcoin, it was even more. For Bitcoin, it was moving from $3,000 to $19,700 in the final 90 days of the bull market for Bitcoin, right? So we know we can make absolutely massive moves towards the end of a bull market. Now, am I saying this bull market is going to end in December? No, I'm not projecting any specific date for when this bull market's going to peak, right? I'll leave that to Bill with the GAN stuff and all of his work with the cycles and the days and whatnot. I am just picking at the end of the year as an arbitrary date to measure risk premiums off of. And what are we measuring these risk premiums off of? We're measuring it off of this fair value trend line, right? This is our fair value of the total cryptocurrency market cap as measured by its long-term 7 to 8 year trend line. Why am I comfortable using this as its fair value trend line? Because it's virtually never been broken for more than a couple weeks, right? Very briefly in September of 2015, and very briefly due to a COVID pandemic that crashed all markets. And then we popped right back up onto this trend line. So what does this trend line tell us? This trend line tells us there's probably going to be a great deal of support at this level, right? Which we can assign as fair value, or our safe fair value. So what would we expect? Well, after our peak at $2.6 trillion in total cryptocurrency market cap, we would expect that within 730 days of our peak in May of 2021, May of this year, within 730 days, we could expect to be back at this $2.56 trillion valuation of total cryptocurrency market cap. Why? Because that's where we would be running into the trend line and finding support. The same goes for previous peaks. However, previous peaks, we've seen much higher valuations, much higher risk premiums. The risk in terms of days to fair value of our last peak was 1,430 days. For the peak before that, all the way back in December of 2013, November, December of 2013, we were over 1,000 days, nearly 1,200 days to fair value. So we know that historically, the total cryptocurrency market cap can sustain very, very high risk premiums. We also know from comparisons that we've done on gold, on the S&P 500, on other equities, on FANG stocks, that we can absolutely, right, on real estate, that these other markets are sustaining much, much higher risk premiums. In terms of how big of a bubble we're in compared to previous bubbles, crypto's actually in a much smaller bubble than a lot of these other value assets like real estate, like equities, like FANG stocks are actually in. Most of these other equities and other value assets are trading well over 1,400 to 1,500 days to fair value. They just have longer term histories that seems to make people feel more comfortable investing in them. Yet crypto is currently only at a 500 days to fair value risk premium, right? So if we actually take a look at some arbitrary scenarios from the end of the year, again, end of the year using an easy arbitrary date, if we measured days to fair value, 500, 750, 1,000, 1,250 days to fair value scenarios, we could see that realistically, right? We could see a total cryptocurrency market cap, obviously a return to $2.6 trillion, very realistic. We've been there very recently. But even in our more realistic scenarios, 4.6 in $7.8 trillion. Guys, it's not a matter of if we go to a $5 trillion or $4.6 trillion total cryptocurrency market cap. It's a matter of how long it takes to get there and how big the risk premium is when we get there. The sooner we get there, the larger the risk premium will be. If we get there in the next couple of months before the end of the year, the risk premium will be about 822 days to fair value. Guys, 822 days to fair value in comparison to a lot of the other value assets and in comparison to where crypto's been at in the past is not that high of a risk premium. Is it a high risk premium? Sure, right? Do you want to buy and accumulate at fair value on the trend line? Absolutely. But if we're taking a look at scenarios and looking at how high we can actually go and what this total cryptocurrency market cap can actually tolerate, these are not out of the question valuations. So I know we're only at a $2 trillion total cryptocurrency market cap, but just know that historically, it usually comes all at once in the last few months of a market cycle. Now, whether this is a market cycle that peaks at the end of the year or a market cycle that is, more in line with expanding market cycle theory, that maybe puts us at a market peak 6 months into 2022, right? That's to be determined in the future. But what I'm saying here is that this cryptocurrency market can sustain and tolerate much higher total cryptocurrency market cap valuations. Of course, there's risk of downside. Of course, we could return back down to this trend line, but we would expect in just a matter of time, in a matter of 500 to 1,000 days, that we would get back up to these valuations, regardless of whether we go down first or we just shoot straight up to these valuations, right? So that's my bullish case for this live stream. Back over to Ian.
All right. Thank you, Forrest. So if you enjoyed that, please hit the like button, subscribe, and share this video with a friend. Let me just remove this. Apologies. Okay, so let's do a brief AMA, and then we'll we'll wrap things up. Okay, so let's look at the questions here.
Somebody was asking about the graph.
The graph. Okay, do you want to talk about that? Or
Yes.
you have tea on that?
Yeah, I mean, one thing I just want to note about the graph is I covered it last night on the Sunday Goodbye live stream. The graph is a big favorite of Multicoin Capital. Okay, they're a huge hedge fund in Austin, Texas. And one of the things that I notice on the graph chart, which I'm trying to pull up now, is that the graph is making like a rounding bottom. Okay. Here it comes. And when you have these rounding bottoms like this, okay, these things where, it kind of puts everyone to sleep, right? Matter of fact, it puts everyone to sleep to such a degree that no one actually thinks to draw the rounding bottom. And frequently what happens when DeFi takes off, okay, the graph can follow Chainlink and actually really gap. So if there was a sleeper out there that no one's looking at, it could be this coin, right? I talked about it last night, so that's my take on the graph.
All right. Thank you, Bill. Okay, so somebody had a question about how to use the website. So where do we go on Tokenmetrics website to learn how to better use the features as a subscriber or request specific code reviews? So if you go to the website, there should be a tutorial link on the menu page. If you go there, that has this, all that information. Then you can also go to help.tokenmetrics.com, which is the direct link to the help page. And we also have content on there as well, videos and walkthroughs. Okay, in terms of requesting specific code reviews, right now there isn't really a way to request code reviews. Right now, basically our team just curates it. Probably the best way is to, if you're a pro customer and a private Telegram group, just post in the code review Telegram group. Our team goes in there and does take requests via that channel. All right. Share our opinion on Phantom, FTM. Phantom scored well on a code review. It was over 80%. I think all-time high since we reviewed it was a 50x. I'm not sure where it is now, but it's definitely a good project. All right. Thank you, Bobby. We love you too. All right. Okay, how much time do we have? Okay, so one thing I want to talk about are NFTs. I mean, I spent the whole day just doing an NFT research. So actually for Moon Mission, I'll be buying my first NFT. I'll be putting together an NFT portfolio. So that video will probably come out on Tuesday. So to all our customers, stay tuned for TMTV. I'm officially getting into the NFT investing space. I know Forrest has been heavily investing in that space as well. I'm probably going to put in about, I don't even know, I'd say maybe 25 to 50 grand into buying some art. I won't say which ones just yet, but stay tuned. It'll be probably one of the most interesting videos I've done yet for Moon Mission tomorrow. Forrest, do you want to maybe cover your NFT portfolio briefly?
Yeah, so my NFT portfolio is not very diversified. It's actually pretty local to just about one project mainly, and that's Zed.Run. So Zed.Run scored very well on fundamentals. They just got a $20 million investment, and I believe it was led by Andreessen Horowitz, A16Z. They've also had some partnerships with NASCAR. They just partnered with NASCAR. They just partnered with Atari and Stella Artois, the beer company. What Zed.Run actually is it sounds funny, but it's digital horse racing on the blockchain, right? It's a Matic project, and each horse is an NFT. And again, it sounds crazy, but funnily enough, just like in real horse racing, where if you have a winning horse, you can breed that horse. Other horse owners want to breed with a winning racehorse so that they can breed a winning racehorse. Just like that, in real terms, on Zed.Run, you can breed your NFT horses, right? And there's a hierarchy of which horses have the best abilities, or which ones are the fastest. The Genesis horses are the fastest and will always have the best genetics. So I've personally made a move into the NFT space in Zed.Run, buying several high-tier Genesis horses that I'm currently earning breeding fees with. It sounds funny, but they're stud fees, right? You get you can breed out male horses 3 times a month, and if you have a female, you can breed it with a male horse, an NFT horse, and keep the offspring. The better the genetics of the parents, the better and more valuable the offspring will be. So this is a very big space. It's speculative still, but it's already a very large project. I think by total traded volume, it's a top 10 NFT project already, and it's one of the only NFT projects in the top 10. I think it's the only NFT project in the top 10 that's running on Matic and has no gas fees for trading NFTs, which is really, in my opinion, going to help the volume go up. So I'm pretty bullish on this project, but I am definitely aware that we're still in a pretty speculative stage for NFTs. But what I like about this project is that the NFTs have utility, right? That's very important for me. The fact that I can invest in a racehorse and then earn money on it through either racing it or breeding it, I can get back some of my investment and also have the underlying exposure to the actual NFT value and priced in Ethereum as well. So it's a very interesting space.
Yeah, I mean, I think this might be my new hobby because I've been, probably for the last few weeks, I've been collecting some art, doing some art investing, and I met a crypto friend here who's quite the art collector. This guy has 3 Banksies, and he bought one Banksy back in 2013 for basically 100 grand, and now it's worth over 2 million, maybe even 3 million. Basically, it's done over a 20x. And now he's also began collecting NFTs. He told me he put, I think, 100 grand into the Bored Ape Yacht Club. So after that, I've kind of been diving into the space and just doing some more research on it. And I feel like once you kind of get into investing in art and you kind of see what makes money, and now trying to apply that in crypto with NFTs, I'm basically seeing a pattern. So definitely very hyped to see what happens in the space. I'll keep you guys posted. Bill, do you have any NFT or any arts, anything like that you're getting into?
Well, not the way you guys are. On my Twitter, there's Notorious Bill, and I work with a local artist, and Notorious Bill 2.0 just came out, and that's coming soon.
Okay, so somebody's saying NFTs seem like a waste of cash. Actually, well, it depends, right? It's definitely speculation. That's why I've been avoiding them. But now that I've seen a way forward, a way that is data driven, using analytics, and also using just basically having a framework to invest in art and make money via NFTs, now that's why I'm getting into it. Will there be a public spreadsheet? No, no spreadsheet. But actually, I have been thinking about it. This is super early. I'm thinking probably here at Token Metrics, we have to come up with a token metrics version for NFTs. Imagine being able to use machine learning and data and analytics to figure out which NFTs can make money, because all the data is on chain, right? So definitely very, very exciting space. NFTs have been exploding recently. OpenSea is now even more active than Uniswap, which is pretty crazy. Okay, somebody's saying, Ian, get a, is it called back? Bored Ape Yacht Club disqualifies you to join the Bored Ape Kennel Club. All right, interesting. Which plan shows code reviews? I mean, code reviews are for each plan, but the private Telegram groups are for the professional plan. And we do have a Telegram group for the code reviews. All right. Thoughts on Polkadot? I'll defer to Forrest for Polkadot. Your thoughts on Polkadot right now?
Yeah, I still stand by the fact that it's a great project. If you do own it, it's wise to be staking it, as the dilution is pretty bad otherwise if you're not staking it. You can stake it and get over 10%. I believe it's 12 to 14%. A couple places to stake it. The most popular is probably Kraken. But the explain like I'm five version of my Polkadot thesis, or the basic analogy that of course has its flaws, but I think of Polkadot as a blockchain airport, right? If you look at Atlanta Hartsfield Jackson Airport, it's I think the second most trafficked airport in the world, right? And it's just connecting flights to all these different airports around the world, right? You want to get a flight from Miami to Chicago, Miami to New York, you might not go direct, you might have to connect through Atlanta, right? Polkadot, in this basic analogy, is just like a central hub, like an airport, and all the different blockchains that are connecting it and sending transactions through it and inheriting its security model are stopping by the McDonald's in Atlanta Hartsfield Jackson Airport and spending money. They're just basically spending money as they stop through the airport in Atlanta. So Polkadot is that hub that is connecting different blockchains. Instead of an airport connecting different cities and enabling passengers to travel to different destinations, Polkadot, in this basic analogy, is the hub that connects blockchains and allows them to communicate with each other. How does Bitcoin communicate with Ethereum or Binance Smart Chain or Solana? Potentially through Polkadot as an intermediary, as an interoperability solution. So big fan of Polkadot.
All right, thank you, Forrest. Samora says Tokenmetrics should have their own NFT, and by holding it, it could unlock the code reviews. Okay, I'm not sure about that, because we definitely want to make sure as many people, or as many customers, have access to the code reviews. But we definitely do want to possibly issue our own NFTs for Tokenmetrics for our customers. So stay tuned. It's still pretty early, but I think down the road, it makes sense, right? As we get deeper and deeper into the NFT space, it makes sense to support our community and our ecosystem by creating NFTs. All right, next question. Just popping up. Okay, best altcoin that is undervalued. I would say just go to Tokenmetrics and look at the TM grade. TM grade has been highly accurate. It's had projects that have done pretty well. Right now, Solana has been essentially blowing up. I think Solana could be next in terms of possible competitors for Ethereum. Actually planning to possibly go to their conference in November in Portugal. So to our crypto family out there, stay tuned. I'll confirm with you probably in a month or so. Cardano. Yes, Cardano, there was news today. I think they announced their date in September for their upgrade. I'm not sure if that's the smart contract upgrade or if that's something else. I'm not really a Cardano. I don't really know too much about Cardano or ADA, but it is a good project, and it's good to see them actually making progress and launching. Alrighty. Thoughts on Helium HNT after the halving? Well, honestly, it pains me to say this, but I think right now, at least for me, the only way to really get HNT is to just buy it. Right now, it makes no sense to really mine it. My rewards have gone down drastically. Also here in Austin, pretty much it makes no sense to mine it because everybody now has a hotspot, right? So if anything, I'm looking for the next Helium, and I'm looking for probably just buying more. Anybody with any thoughts? I know, Bill, your device arrived. Have you been mining it?
My device arrived, and I'm still fighting AT&T Fiber on their firewall to get it to work. But I'm optimistic because I'm in San Antonio, so that's a much smaller market than Austin.
All right. Yeah, congrats to everybody who picked up some audio. I just wish I bought some more. Pretty much, I'm just doing stake and forget. First, what's your target for audio? Or what's your plan for that? Just hodl?
HODL, I'm staking and forgetting about it. I think I want to see them start to really compete with some of the big players in the space, and I think they have the capability to do so. As far as price targets go, the fundamentals just pretty drastically changed as of today. So taking a look at some valuations and waiting a little bit to see exactly how valuable this TikTok partnership actually is before we can come up with some price predictions. But yeah, it's very exciting.
Now you can stake Audius on their platform. Now I did make a video on this for Moon Mission. It was actually pretty tricky, I think, because the first few nodes were full and it didn't really give you an error message. So at least for me, I kept on sending money to, or putting in a transaction to the wrong node because it kept on saying it was full. But definitely just check it out. Check out the video, or just, I think Forrest also made a video as well on YouTube, right, on how to stake audio. All right. If mining rewards for HNT are going down, then what's the attraction to mine and how the network will eventually grow? Is halving like an autoimmune? Well, I mean, with 5G launching possibly in September, I believe, that could maybe change things, because now I think 5G will be bigger than IoT devices, right? Because 5G is the future. So if people can get better rewards with that, then I think that would be pretty good. It's kind of like mining Bitcoin. I mean, yes, Bitcoin has housing and the price goes, and the amount of tokens being issued goes down, but long term, Bitcoin price has gone up. So I think Helium going through their first halving, people are adapting to this, and it's basically getting very popular, too popular. They've crossed over 100K hotspots. So all that demand and the halving, I mean, I still believe in the project, but I'm saying if you're looking to make $6,000 a month mining it, that might not be the case if you're in a very, very popular place like Austin for mining. Then question from Tony, is Rally the next audio? I know Forrest is really into Rally. I haven't had a chance to delve deeper into it, but it is on my watch list. What do you think, Forrest?
I don't know if it's the next audio. It depends on how you're kind of asking that question in terms of returns, potentially. But one thing you need to know about Rally is that the tokenomics are designed to incentivize Rally holders to invest in creator coins. The reason that is because they have a very low circulating supply and a pretty high emission rate. Those Rally emissions go to the Rally rewards program, which rewards creator coin holders whenever that creator coin sees week over week growth. So if you just hold Rally and you're not investing it into a creator coin, or you're not trying to get yield on it in some form or another, you will be diluted by that high emission rate. But the project itself is growing very, very fast, and I'm big on decentralized content. Big on Theta. I'm not personally invested in Theta. Big on the anti-censorship narrative. Big on Audius. Big on decentralized content like Rally. So I think it's absolutely a coin that we could see excel in terms of growth because of that narrative.
All right, so let's wrap up the live stream. Any last words to our crypto family? Bill.
Friends, hi. Thank you for joining us on our new date. All right. Remember, on red days, that's when you want to take a look and say, where can I add? If you get back-to-back red days, so much the better. Stay with us on Monday, and don't forget to check out tokenmetrics.com. I know I work there, but tokenmetrics.com gets better every day, which will allow you to get better every day.
All right. Forrest?
Obviously, be careful. This is not financial advice in any way, shape, or form. Always be careful, manage your risk, always stick to a strategy. But I guess my final words would be that it can go higher than you think it can, faster than you think it can, especially towards the end of a market cycle. Will this market cycle repeat previous market cycles? We don't know yet. That's the million-dollar question. But if history is any accurate indicator, it can go higher than you think it can, faster than you think it can.
All right. Thank you, Forrest. And we got a surprise for our crypto family. So the long-awaited book is coming soon. So Crypto Investing Guide, How to Invest in Bitcoin, DeFi, NFTs, and more, by myself and the whole Tokenmetrics team, because teamwork makes the dream work. This book is coming soon. It'll be available in paperback and hardcover, and yes, even as an audiobook. So stay tuned. I thank you for all the support. We know you have been asking for a crypto investing book, and guess what? Our team has done it. We're very, very excited for the launch of this. Stay tuned. With that being said, thank you, everybody, and we'll see you next week on Monday. Bye.
See you guys.